Welcome to the 41 episode of Indie and Music Industry World. Ladies and gentlemen, the Daily Driver. Thank you so much for start my conversation for my podcast. I totally love your music. You're amazing.
Hell yeah,
Congrats
thank
so
you.
much.
Hell yeah, yeah, glad to be on it. Mitchell's gonna join here in a sec, the singer. So I just got off the phone, and we should be joining any second here.
Yeah. Can you hear me well?
Yep.
Cool.
How
I
about
was
me?
born the band, so feel free to count me everything you want. Your sound is amazing. Absolutely.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait for Mitchell to join in on here, and then we'll get right into it. But yeah, man. So yeah, thanks for having us on. It's super cool. It's actually our first interview as with this project, so this is gonna be kind of our debut little story to tell.
Yeah, I love your sound, just like unique and you mix a lot of style. That's amazing. How is Born Rich for a Day? That is your last single.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, we started this band a little over a year ago. We all come from different projects, other musicians and stuff we've worked with.
Hello.
This is Paul.
Hey, how's it
This
going?
is Paul, the bass
I'm
player here.
good.
And
How's it
yeah,
going?
Paul, just
Finally.
Good. Yeah.
Thank you for being my podcast. We were talking about Reach for a Day, that it's a smash. Absolutely. I love your sound, and congrats so much. If you wanna tell me about how it's born the track, and about the style, the process.
yeah, for sure. So that song, me and Paul actually, we were at a studio one time and we had some downtime. And I was like, hey man, I have this riff. I've been messing around with these chords. Got a little drum beat on it.
I was really hungover and
Yeah.
reluctant to work on the song.
I woke him up and I was
Yeah.
like, dude, Paul, like, I need you to put a bass line on this, dude. He's like, I'm pretty tired. I was like, come on, Paul, just do it. And so he put that bass line that you hear in the song. He pretty much tracked that kind of in like a one take steak fashion. So we rolled with that. And yeah, and then we actually sat on the song for a few years. We didn't have any vocals on it or anything. And then we started this band, Daily Driver, and Mitchell heard it and was like, yeah, this is like some cool stuff. So he put the vocals over it. We kind of had a little brainstorm on what the song kind of feels like, and kind of came up with the idea of like, well, what if it was like about being rich for one day? Like kind of just going off of that story. And we ended up having a lot of fun with it, with the video. We wanted to be, not really too critical of how cool it looked or whatever. And we had a good time with it, filming
It's
it.
about having fun.
How did you
Yeah.
find the
Really-
right sound of the tracks? And in this track too, because it's just like a particular sound, it's just like hard to record the perfect music,
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say when we were working on it in the studio, that time where I was hungover, it kind of started to take shape with a certain style with the way Justin was playing, and then we kind of shaped all the sounds for it kind of around that like indie like rock sound.
That guitar tone, yeah. It really started with that guitar tone. Kind of just like a nice single coil sound, real like indie. And then Paul just comes in with a nice clean bass line and just like a real simple, sort of lo-fi drum sound. And then, just the nice contrast of Mitch's vocals just sounding really clean and crisp.
Yeah, there's a really storytelling behind the tracks, from just like reach for a dive, I can see life around me, that's something real. How much it's hard to write the tracks together?
It's actually probably the easiest thing to do in the band. We have these things. We started this band on, we called them jamathons, and we would link up at Paul's studio where he's at right now, and literally just jam for like 2-3 hours straight, like no interruptions, and just vibe out. Maybe have a couple beers, smoke a little weed, and just jam for a long ass time. And a lot of these songs that we have came from little snippets of those jams. Mitchell, we showed him one of our jams. It was me, Paul, and Malik that did a couple before we started the band with Mitch, and he was like, "Yo, like these are some good like sections in this jam. We can totally make them into songs." So Mitch was really good at like carving out the ideas from a marathon jamathon type thing. So Vacancy came from that. Life Around Me also came from that. Lintweed, that's the old name for Rich for a Day. We have a lot of funny working names for these songs before we actually give them a real name. But yeah, Rich for a Day was one of the only songs that we didn't actually have like a jamathon.
Are you just like preparing now an EP or an album?
Yeah, we actually have a total of 14 tracks, including the ones we've released. So we're kind of releasing singles, and eventually they will all kind of compile into an album, which is really just like a showcase of just all the different music that we like to play. Not really trying to be too boxed into a certain sound, just kind of writing and having fun with it, and really just enjoying making music with.
Yeah. How do you describe your sound?
Yeah, I think we're still kind of trying to figure that out, because it is very.
I would say I would describe our band kind of as more fun. And serious in the context that we all know how to write and work together, and it's so easy for us to write and work together that we just like to have fun. So that's the main way I would describe it, is take out all the complexities of trying to be super rigid and serious and open it up to just an experience of having fun.
Have you just planned some shows around LA, maybe outside right now?
Yeah, we actually just landed our first gig. We're playing November 14th at the Viper Room.
Yeah.
So that'll be our debut show.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Hope you can travel here in Europe too. I'm based in Texas now, but I will move to Italy, so I will move around and hope to see you live. What we can expect about it?
It's going to be a real tight show. We're looking forward to really dialing in. There's Mitchell.
Hello,
Mitchell.
Hi there. How's it going?
He had to come in with this nice sounding mic, But yeah, the show's gonna be fun. We're gonna focus on it being a little more high energy, and just having it really dialed in. We're gonna have some tracks for transitions and all that fun stuff. So we've all played live in our musical careers up to this point, so we're very familiar with being on stage. But we haven't all been on stage together with this project.
We've all played different things together at different points.
I had an amazing impact when I was listening your music. It was just like seems like a real live experience. That was absolutely cool. That's what I really search with a band. Because with your style, you reach just like a high level between the studio and the live show. That's cool. Congrats.
Definitely. Thank you. Yeah. We make sure when we were doing the studio stuff, we really wanted to use as much of the equipment and the sound that we were going to be able to perform live too. So everything that you hear in the recordings is all mic'd up. Very little digital sounds on there, all analog.
Yeah. Are you still just like, do you prefer to stay independent right now, or maybe you're looking for some record labels to support your journey in music as a band? How is the process now?
I think we're definitely interested in the right offer if it were to come our way. But as of right now, I think independent is the way we kind of all feel about it, because we have more control. We're able to, do what we want a lot more. I feel like when you pivot to that kind of move, that's when a lot of restrictions come into play, and they want it to be a certain sound or a certain style.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. That's why it's better in part stay independent, about to have your control of the music.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. So, guys, do you want to present yourself for my public? You know, if you want to present Rich for a Day, your late single, and promote your next show in November on the Viper Room.
Thank you, man. Hell
Thank
yeah.
you.
Appreciate it. Yeah, and we we have another song coming out later this month also. So we're gonna announce that. We're gonna drop that. It's actually coming out August 22nd, and it's featuring one of our good buddies, Joe Snapped. So it's gonna be yet another sort of branch of genre that this band is capable of doing. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with you, and thank you for having us on, man. It's been a blast.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, guys. You know, you totally got my support. You're amazing. You know, I think that you'll very soon, you know, you'll tour around the US and Europe too. I'll wish you there.
Yeah, for sure.
That would be awesome,
man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys.
All
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, peace out.
Thank
See
you.
ya.
Bye.
Bye.